Good evening. Welcome to yet another session. The Ask Me Anything, which happens every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, so today we are actually having a very different topic. Okay, we are going to discuss about gut. And there are different, as per the prakriti of a person, the gut can change from person to person. So it'll be very interesting for you to understand. Okay. So to understand the gut, we should first understand what metabolism is all about. Okay. So let's slowly start. Okay. So gut in Ayurveda. Okay. So gut or basically the koshtha is what. So it is basically koshtha is anta koshtha. It starts the whole alimentary canal can be called the koshtha. Okay, so the koshtha depends upon the prakriti and agni. The person's prakriti decides what kind of a koshtha he's got, and also the agni. If the agni is not proper, then you will have issues with your koshtha. Therefore, understanding agni is also important for to understand kosha. So let's start with that. What is the concept of Agni? So the whole of Ayurveda revolves around the concept of Agni. Even when you look at treatment, we say what Kaya Chikitsa is basically Kayasya Antaragni Chikitsa Kaya Chikitsa. The treatment for the Agni itself is treatment. So Agni is very, very, very important. If your metabolism is not right, you can fall sick and a lot of issues can happen to you. Okay. So what? So every metabolic change that happens in the body is basically because of Agni. You have got even the cell, each and every cell has got a mitochondria. The smallest of metabolism happens in the mitochondria. That is also Agni. Okay, there are different kinds of Agnis, 13 Agnis. You have got the main Agni is the Jatra Agni, the one, the digestive fire. You have got 5 Bhutagnis and you have 7 Dhatu Agnis. Dhatu Agnis is the tissues. So each and every cell, so a group of cells is basically called a tissue, right? So each and every cell has got its own Agni. So it is very important, even at the cellular level. So if the Agni is proper, most of the issues in the body is taken care of. Okay. So then, Agni and Prakriti. So if you look at the Prakriti, by and large, we have got, you've got a lot of Prakriti, but when you have got Vata predominance, we call that Vishama Agni. Vishama Agni in the sense your digestion is unpredictable. Sometimes you feel extremely hungry and sometimes you don't feel hungry at all. You are satisfied with little food and sometimes you can eat so much. So that is basically called Vishama Agni. Okay. Then Pitta. Pitta person is called Tikshna Agni. Pitta is basically fire. So Tikshna Agni is what? It is sharp or very strong fire. That means a person can actually digest a lot of food. He always feels hungry. He eats and then he can also digest. That is Tikshna Agni. And then Kapha. Kapha Prakriti person has got Manda Agni. That means Agni is slow. Irrespective of whether he eats so much or he eats little, his Agni actually takes a longer time for it to digest. So predominantly Vata person is unpredictable. For a Pitta person is very strong, and for a Kapha person it is slow. So that is how Agni is. So once you understand the Agni, then you will understand how the gut, the Koshtha behaves as per the Prakriti itself. Okay, so let's get into that. So Koshtha, as per the Prakriti. Same Vata person, it is Krura. Krura is basically, we can call it hard or dry, or as I said, it is unpredictable. Again, the Koshtha is unpredictable. That means he can have constipation or sometimes he can have loose motions also. But it is unpredictable. Mostly his Koshtha is Krura. Okay, in the sense it does not behave the right way. Pitta. So when he passes motions, so when a Vata person passes motions, you'll see that it is very difficult for him to pass motions, or the stool which he passes, it is broken. Okay, for a Pitta person, Mrudu. Okay, the food he consumes, as I said before, it digests pretty fast, and the Agni is too much. So what happens? The stools which he passed is soft. It might look as if it is not properly formed or undigested. That's not the case. That is the way the stool of a Pitta Prakriti person is. Okay, it is it is semi-solid. Okay. Now the Kapha Prakriti person. Kapha Prakriti person is called the Madhyama or the medium kind of. It is neither too hard nor it is too semi-solid. It is solid, well-formed stool. Okay, so that's why it's a Kosthak Kruro Mrudur Madhyo. So it is for a Vata person, it is Krura. For a Pitta person, it is Mrudu. And for a Kapha person, it is Madhya. So understanding the Koshtha also is very important. Okay, so you can start asking your questions. So here what happens is, sometimes we, many students who are studying Ayurveda, when they look at the stools, they say, that if a person is passing banana-shaped stool, then it is extremely healthy. Okay, so if everybody has to pass a banana shaped stool, then everybody will be of the same kind of same prakriti. That is not possible. Okay, mostly the banana kind of stool is being passed by a person who is predominantly kapha person. A person who's predominantly pitta will always pass stool which is semi-solid, and a person who is predominantly vata prakriti person, he will pass stool with difference which is dry and which is always broken. So there is no general rule that everybody should pass a banana shaped long stool. Okay, so basically you can make out the koshtha of a person by looking at his stool. Okay, so if you've got any questions about this, we can definitely start. I can definitely take all your questions. Is it likelihood of armor formation less in case of Tikshnagni? You are right, but armor also depends upon a lot of conditions, Sophia. The reason why a person can fall sick, armor, is because of two reasons. Okay, main is atyashanam and other one is adhyashanam. Atyashanam is basically overeating. Even if a person is called Tikshnagni, if he overeats, that means the food is too much for the Agni to handle, you've always got a chance of getting Agni, Ama. Or other one is Adhyashanam. Adhyashanam is consuming food even before the previously digested food is consumed. When you have got the habit of eating multiple times, okay, always, then what happens is again a chance of you getting Ama. Just because you have got Tikshna, but the chances are less. But even if you've got Tikshnani, you might get Ama. Okay, it's actually a very good question. Renu, I don't understand your question. Deficiency of vitamin D and vitamin B12. I don't know what your question is. Okay. Does Koshtha change when doshas are vitiated, or is always Krura or Mrudu? So that's a good question. So suppose, let me put it this way. I am predominantly Pitta person, but who I'm traveling, I'm flying non-stop from Delhi to JFK in US, okay, New York. So it's a non-stop, maybe 15-hour, 16-hour flight. Okay, and I don't get proper sleep. So the moment I land, because of that flight and not eating good food and not sleeping well, actually increases my vata in the body. And when I go to New York and when I want to pass motions, probably I might see that my Koshtha has become Krura. That is a temporary phase. Okay, so your question is right. So it's a temporary phase when the doshas are vitiated. Yes, you might have that feeling. But once you take rest and then the body comes back into balance, it will again come back to Mrudu Koshtha. So temporary vitiation can happen when the dosha vitiates. Okay. So if there is Mandagni happening in a Vata or Pitta Prakriti, is Hingvashtak a good idea? Okay. In Vata or Pitta Prakriti, normally we have, what do you call, Agni, which is unpredictable, or Pitta, you have got Tikshna Agni. So in Tikshnagni, I don't think Hingwashtak is actually necessary. But you should see, if you look at Hingwashtak, okay, it is also called as Ashtachurna. It has got more of hing or asafoetida. Okay, sometimes when the Agni is not good, or a person passes motions immediately after Agni, okay, especially in kids we see that, because it's more of kapha and digestion doesn't happen properly. So when you have got a little bit of dominance of kapha, or you have got grahani, where a person passes motions after every meal or multiple times, then Hingu Ashtak would be actually a good choice. Okay, but by and large, Hingu Ashtak doesn't increase the Agni too much. It helps in holding the food and helping it digest. Okay, if you want to increase the Agni, then there are other things like Vaishwandra Churna can be given to increase the Agni. How to treat dry and frizzy hair? Okay, so especially dry and frizzy hair. Okay, let me put it this way. All hair, it actually grows from the scalp. And if your scalp is well nourished, okay, listen to me very carefully. If your scalp is well nourished, your hair by and large becomes healthy. So, just by applying something on the hair, yes, temporarily it will show some result, but actually the treatment has to happen for the scalp. So if your hair is dry and frizzy, that means your scalp is also dry and scalp is not getting enough nourishment, okay, so you can actually, if it is very mild, very mild dryness and very little bit of frizziness, yes, you can actually handle it by external application or by oils. But if it is you have got dry scalp, and probably you have got flakiness, you have got dandruff and other things also, then you might also need to undergo treatment to counter that balance, because that is a whole body imbalance which is also being shown in your hair. So treating that from within is also very important, vitamin D and vitamin B12 deficiency, if it is, I would say, if your deficiency is very high, okay, then I would say it's always good for you to go for supplements. Okay, because then it becomes an emergency. But otherwise, if you are somebody who is eating food on time, decent, good, balanced food on time, you are somebody who does regular exercises and who sleeps really well, I'm telling you, most of the deficiencies are taken care. And you see that most of these deficiencies happen to people who are not very disciplined about their day-to-day life. Okay. Shashikar, if a Vata predominant person passes motions long banana, then um, see, a Vata person, if he passes, that's a very tricky question. Normally, what happens is, if a Vata, if he is predominantly Vata, then he will have difficulty in passing motions. He might not pass motions regularly. He might slightly get constipated also, and his motions will be broken. Okay, but if he is passing banana shaped, then that, yes, it is understood that there is a nice influence of kapha in his gut, and that is the reason why he is passing it through. He is passing it that way. What is the best Deepana and Pachana Dravyas in your opinion? See, Deepana and Pachana actually are two different things. Okay, one that will increase the Agni is Deepana, and one which is help in digestion is basically Pachana. Okay, I would say, dry ginger. In my opinion, dry ginger, not even pepper. Okay, dry ginger would be the best choice for something which acts more as the deepana, but it also acts very good as pachana. So, dry ginger, in my opinion, would be the best thing. Okay, even see, all tricotoo, all the three are good, but the best thing, if you ask me, is Vishwa Bheshaja. That means the universal medicine is a synonym of dry ginger. Okay, I would say that should be the best choice. Does water fasting suit all dosha types? I get dizzy and headache when I do Ekadashi fasting. Okay, Deepthi, water fasting is basically not directly mentioned in Ayurveda. Okay, even you find in all other texts, like where they say Nirjala Ekadashi, that means you do Ekadashi fasting even without a drop of water. Okay, some people do it only with food. Okay, so there are different kinds of fasting, but I would say fasting is something which is done should be done only by people who have got the physical and the mental strength to go through it. It is not meant for all people. It is not about only about vata, pitta, or kapha, but for a predominantly vata person, it might be slightly difficult because he is by and large, by nature, he's somebody who's on the weaker side. Okay, but you should be physically and mentally strong to go through any kind of fasting. Okay, any other questions? Does passing motion vary with season for Vata Pitta person? Yes. Okay. So if you look at the what do you call summer? Summer is a season where Vata slowly starts accumulating, and during the rains, Vata is at the high. So people who are predominantly Vata will have more difficulty in passing motions during the summer and during the rainy seasons. Okay, for other prakriti people also, you see that they'll find a little bit difficult in passing motions during those seasons. Okay, for a pitta person, during the rainy season, you see that the pitta accumulates. Okay, and the season which follows after that. Okay, the Sharat Ritu or the spring, what happens is, you see that the pitta is very high, and you have always got a chances of passing softer bowels. Okay, when the pitta is extremely high, you pass softer bowels. Hair loss is also treated by treating the scalp. Uh, yeah, Kim, let me tell you theoretically, hair loss has been explained in the krudra rogas are the diseases with least importance. Okay, I'm not demeaning hair loss. Okay, but this is the way Acharya have mentioned it. It has been classified under Kshudra Roga. That means least important rogas. Because see, a person loses hair also, it's got nothing to do with basically his other health. Okay, so when a doctor, when he takes care of any Kshudra Roga, normally though it is not a full body which is taken care of, because the imbalance is normally happen locally. So for a Kshudra Roga, we do mostly local treatments. Okay, so irrespective of whether you don't look too much into the prakriti of the person, we look into most of the imbalance that has happened locally. Okay, so hair loss, it's a Kshudra Roga, and so where is the hair grown? Hair grown is in the scalp. Okay, so the balance of the scalp has to be maintained for good growth. I've seen so many cases. I say, irrespective of whether you have got curly hair or straight hair or blonde hair or whatever hair, if the scalp is taken care, it's just like a land. If the land is fertile, it is not like only coconut tree will grow, mango tree will grow, jackfruit tree will grow. So, in my opinion, if the scalp is basically taken care and it is balanced, your hair growth and the quality of your hair is much, much better. Okay. See, our hair products, yes, you can get it to US. If there is somebody who's traveling from India, you can ask them to bring it to you. Okay. We have not started shipping it international. Sorry about that. Probably later. What is the guna of chai and which dosha effect does it have? See, if directly the guna of chaya has not been told, but tea leaf it is basically extremely astringent. Okay, so it is more of kashaya rasa. So when something is more of kashaya rasa, it can increase what do you call vata. Okay. Sweet, sour, and salt predominantly pacifies vata, and spicy, okay, bitter, and kashaya rasa can increase vata, and it will reduce kapha also. it is sharp. So what happens is it actually increases vata and pitta. That's the reason if you are somebody who drinks tea on a regular basis, you always have got a chance of getting burning sensation because it increases pitta and also it increases vata. Okay. Thank you, him. Thank you, him. Okay. Um, see, let me see. I have been exposed to Ayurveda since childhood. My grandfather used to be a white sea in the family. So when he used to tell us a lot of things, when he used to bring us that medicine, bring us this medicine when we were kids, we were so bored because we didn't want to do all this work as a kid. But we used to have sessions with him where he used to explain things in such a way that we used to understand, even though he would recite the shloka and he would tell meanings in which we understood as kids. So the interest was always in the back of our mind. So after I went through my graduation, I finished my graduation in 97. So it's about 28 years back I've been practicing. So so whatever I try to share, I always tell people, it is not something which is my own patent. It's been passed from generations to generations. Plus, the texts have been written 2,000, 3,000 years back. So there is nothing where I am contributing. In whatever way I can, him, I'm trying to just explain or try to spread whatever I have gathered from my elders and the textbooks. Okay, and I'm happy that it is helping you out. I get dreams frequently, and I feel I didn't get quality sleep in the morning. Anything mentioned earlier about this? See, the reason why you don't get good sleep is because your vata is slightly on the higher side. Okay, you're, as I said, you are sleeping actually. If you don't get sleep, it is you have got pitta problem. Okay, but if you are not sleeping well, superficial sleep is because of vata. Okay, and see, I would say that you can't probably stay awake too much in the night, and you are not somebody, you should do too much of exercise also. If you are somebody who does too much of exercise, you've got too much of vata going up, then you might find very difficult to sleep. And that is one part. A second thing is that see what is actually troubling you. You should somehow resolve that. You might have some stress or something going probably on the personal front or on the official office or something which is actually disturbing you. Those things also have to be resolved. And having something which slightly increases your tamas also will be good for you to consume, like buffalo's milk, not cow's milk. Buffalo's milk will actually help you sleep better. Okay. Why do so many people nowadays have skin problems like acne? A couple of things, Sophia. One thing, my personal understanding is, one thing is that we are into too much of processed foods. Okay, and processed food is actually, it is extremely rajasic. Okay, it increases the pitta of the body, and a lot of masalas people are consuming. People are not sleeping early. When you don't sleep, your pitta and vata goes up. Okay, and I one other thing might be that as I said, too much of preservatives and chemicals in your food. That could be major one reason. And hormonal imbalances are happening. It's all because of the food, the burgers, the pizzas, and all those things which you eat. So as you said, very truly, it is lifestyle. Most of the thing is lifestyle. Okay, and because of these, all these, and some people also say because of non-veg, and also milk, which is coming commercial milk, extremely commercial milk, where cows are injected with hormones. There's a hormonal imbalance in people happening. A lot of girls are suffering from PCOD, PCOS, and all those. Everybody, most of them have got what you call pimples. So I would say lifestyle has to change, and both also very, 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 very sedentary. Okay. Sophia, that's a very good question. People have to realize that. Parents have to realize, and also young adults have to realize that they have to do a shift in their lifestyle. Okay. So, any other question? See, you see a lot of studies happening right now about gut health. Gut health, a lot of importance is being given to the gut, to the gut biome, and all those things. I don't say that you don't have to give, but I would say there is always a balance to everything. Okay, you don't have to go extreme to please all the things in your gut. It is something which naturally happens, and it does, and it is not only the food which decides your gut health. Okay, it depends. In Ayurveda, we have got 4 steps. Okay, this is ahara, vihara, vichara, and aushadha. I just came up with a video a few days yesterday. So it's basically you have to look at the food which you're eating, very important. And then secondly, you have to look at the vihara, your lifestyle. What time you are going to bed, how are you taking a shower, all those things, a lot of factors. Okay, exercise. And third thing is the vichara, how tense you are, what are your thoughts, what are your attitude, how quickly you're getting angry, lot of things. And if all these 3 things are well taken care of, then probably the fourth thing, medicine or treatment might not be necessary at all. Okay. And you would have heard a lot of modern science people say you are what you eat, but Ayurveda goes beyond that, one step beyond that, and we believe that you are what you can digest. Okay, just because you eat a lot of food and just because you take in a lot of vitamins and all those things need not make you healthy if you are not digesting those things and assimilating those things. So it is very important to see whether you are able to digest, and that is where your agni becomes extremely crucial. Okay, so if your agni is well protected and taken care of, most of the issues are taken care of. Okay, so any other question? Great. If a person has no coating on the tongue and are deep cracks, uh, coating on the tongue, Kim, coating on the tongue is one way of finding whether the person has got ama or not. Okay, because we have got Ashtasthana Pariksha, 8 places. Okay, Nadi, Mutram, Malam, Jihva, Drik, Shabda, Sparsha, Akriti. Okay, out of that, Jihva or the tongue is only one place where you can look for ama, and it is one major place where you can look for ama. You also have to ask him about his bowel movements. Okay, and one way to find out whether there is ama or not is if you pass motions and the motion which you pass, okay, actually sinks in water, then there's a heavy chance that your food is not getting digested properly. Okay, this is one way of finding out. So tongue is one thing, and what do you call, looking at the motions also is fine, and a lot of things, heaviness and other factors also. So crack, when the person has got deep crack, that means vata is slightly on the higher side. Okay, when you got cracks in the tongue, there is a very high chance that after a point of time he can also get cracks throughout the alimentary canal. Okay, fissures can come up because once your system starts getting dry, your motions become hard, and when you start passing hard motions continuously for some time, there's always a chance of you getting piles of fissures. Okay, so when the tongue is very red, okay, tongue being red and crack is a very rare condition because you have got vata and pitta associated together. Okay, so so then you cannot give a person too much of hot things. Okay, you should basically go for warm things. Okay, so that's it altogether different diseased condition. But coating on the tongue, if it is very clean, most probably you can consider that there is less or no ama, but you cannot say completely that there is no ama. Hope you're able to understand, Kim. Okay. See, Grita and Avaleha. Uh, when you have, so this is slightly theoretical, Sophia. Okay, Grita reduces Vata and Pitta. Okay, but what happens with an Avaleha? Avaleha can also increase the Pitta a little bit depending upon what is there inside it. So when you don't have too much of Agni, okay, you can still give Grita in small doses. But if you don't have digestive capacity, I would normally say it's always good for you to avoid Avaleha, because Avaleha is a thick and heavy preparation which takes time for digested. Okay, so that's the reason anything you take. Okay, we have got Vidaryadi Gridam and we have got Vidaryadi Avaleha. So same thing we have got Vidaryadi Kashayam also. So when the preparation changes, its application also has to change. Okay. There are, yeah, it's a good question. There are very few Guru Apatarpana foods, and I would say barley is definitely the best choice. And that's the only thing which is coming to my mind also right now, Ami. Okay, so if for people who don't understand what Guru Apatarpana is, Guru is something which is heavy, and Apatarpana is which does not nourish. So normally, what according if you look at the properties of any substance, if it is Guru, that means it will give you more nourishment, and there's always something that can fatten, But barley is something which is Guru, but it does not fatten, and the contrary, it reduces you. So, I would say yes, Yava is definitely, that's the only thing that is coming to my mind right now. Okay. So, is that all? So, let's slowly come to an end to today's session. Oh yes, I will. I will go through the text and try to see if I can gather some more things which are Guru and Apatarpana. But I feel, um, whenever we think of Guru Apatarpana, we always use Yava. Okay, and Yava is actually a very good choice, and it's available in plenty also. Barley is available in plenty, so absolutely no issues. So barley, you can use it in two ways as Guru Apatarpana. You can, what normally we do, I'll tell you how to apply barley. You can take a couple of tablespoons, you can boil it in water, okay, and you strain the water, you drink the water, and instead of having rice, you can also eat that barley and have it all the veggies or all those things you're having. So you are not only drinking the barley water, okay, but you are also consuming the barley which is cooked. So both ways it acts. Okay, you can actually try that. Okay, so thanks a lot. I will see you next week with some other topic. Okay. Okay then. Good night.